A Commerce Student's Guide to Mobile Learning. The learning objectives of this guide are to learn about the global trends in mobile technologies, the differences between mobile technologies in the developed and developing world, to gain an understanding of how our context influences our experience with mobile technology, and to learn how mobile technologies may be applied to the study of commerce. Global trends in mobile technologies. There is an upward trend in the growth of mobile education, shown in the value of the mobile education market. The market is expected to grow from $7.9 billion in 2015 to $37.9 billion by the year 2020. This is an increase of $30 billion. The evolving hardware of mobile technology has largely influenced this as the devices become smaller and more mobile. This means that they can be used in both formal and informal education. The number of people with network access is also increasing, as shown by the 10% increase in the number of internet users from January 2015 to January 2016. Along with this, there has also been a shift in affordances of mobile devices in which they are becoming more sophisticated and able to lend themselves to a wider range of functions. Mobile in the developed and developing world. As commerce students at UWA, we are fortunate enough to experience mobile technology in the developed world. As affordances, being the number of functions in which a device lends itself to increase, the device becomes less affordable. Affordability is the cost of a device in comparison to the amount of money that a person has. Living in the developed world, we have a much greater ability to afford devices such as smartphones. This is highlighted in the graph showing the relationship between income and smartphone ownership. The graph also shows that those countries with smaller incomes and fewer smartphones per capita are generally countries of the developing world. The use of basic or feature phones in the developing world is more common as they have a higher affordability, however lower affordances. Feature phones only lend themselves to basic SMS messages, voice calling, and camera capabilities. Mobile devices in the developing world, however, are becoming more affordable, and particularly for women, as campaigns to bridge the gender inequality, particularly in education, become more prominent. Educational approaches in commerce. Information transmission is an educational approach where the teacher transfers knowledge and information to the learner in a one-way channel of communication. The social constructivist theory of learning takes into consideration the learner's environment and context as it considers that we learn from our experiences. This approach assumes that both the teacher and the student contribute to knowledge. The behaviourist theory focuses on the modification of behaviour through the response to stimuli. Operant conditioning is most common as it uses the giving or removal of rewards such as treats for answering correct questions. Situated learning is learning that occurs within the setting and context of the information that is being learned. This approach to learning bridges the gap between the theoretical learning in the formal instruction of the classroom and the real-life application of the knowledge in the work environment. I will now talk about the uses of mobile technology in the study of commerce. Ebooks are commonly used by commerce students as physical textbooks are often heavy to carry and more expensive to purchase. The use of textbooks means that students are always able to have access to their learning material whilst being able to highlight, annotate and bookmark pages. The use of ebooks encompasses an information transmission approach to learning. Some ebooks may also encompass a behaviourist theory of learning if they include quizzes within them. Mind maps allow for information to be grouped into relevant categories, making it easier to remember the grouped information and visualise the way that ideas fit together. This is a mind map that I found useful in my study of commerce. Mind maps don't allow for much collaboration and are often made specially for individual learning, meaning that they are used as an information transmission approach to learning. QR codes allow teachers and students quick access to materials to support learning such as videos and websites. QR codes are often used when studying commerce. Often they are associated with an information transmission educational approach, and they may be used for situated learning if studying material around campus. QR codes may also feature examples of learning through behaviourism if they link to activities such as quizzes. Apps such as Quizlet are useful in learning and memory of information. Quizlet keeps track of topics which students struggle with so they can be improved upon. The app takes a behaviourist approach to learning through a rewards-based system, and a social constructivist approach may be evident as students can create their own cards. Multimedia recordings allow information to be shared through text, video and audio. These recordings allow information to be shared between teachers, students, and peers, which embodies a social constructivist way of learning, as well as information transmission through the transfer of knowledge. An example that's prominent in our studies is the lecture capture system. From the feedback that I received, I increased my font size, changed some images, and added more diagrams.